why this become a phenomenon? And while I was recording this video as well, um, I didn't particularly pay attention to this. What time I was actually beginning to record it or anything. It's morning, blah blah blah. But while I was talking, and I have a watch on my desk, um, my eyes went automatically on the clock when it was 11:11, and that brings me to this understanding that cannot be explained. The phenomenon is that some people are suddenly, soon they hear the word 11:11, they kind of immediately feel connected to it. Some other, then, I can go there and telling you now about 11:11 and you never heard of it. Then you start to pay attention to 11:11 and you're gonna notice, like I did now, watching 11:11. It happens quite constantly to me. That at that time I have particularly becoming aware suddenly of the time on the clock, or they see the number 11 appearing, or they have dreams about it. All this kind of coincidence, which we don't call coincidence in our language. We pay attention to synchronicities that, or divine synchronicity, divine coincidence. And so this 11:11 is actually definitely connected to it. And this is the image of a crop circle that appeared last year. It might be a hoax, might be not, while I put it there. There is not. This is not just the major 11:11 crop circle that appeared in England. There are others, but the others require some kind of calculation in order to get to the 11:11 date. And if you don't know about the phenomenon of crop circles, so they're definitely from probably about 10 years ago, there's been less and less interest into it, because they say, well, there is all hoaxes, they're all people, they got nothing better to do than going into the field and draw this thing. But I personally have been to several conferences on crop circles, and I'm not convinced by that. And I also heard the Oxer actually, they explain exactly how do they do it, and so on. But in this phenomenon, in the conferences, you meeting researchers, you meeting scientists as well, that they do some studies on it, and there is a consensus out there. It says, yes, there is probably the majority of them. There are no hoaxes, but even if there are the ones, we need to consider the fact that there's some unexplained phenomenon that it definitely cannot be attributed to people making them. And this is a phenomenon that is not related to circles appearing in the fields. They're appearing in the sands, in the water, and so on. And why I bring it into the 11:11? Because the 11 and 11, at the end of the day, is some kind of code that comes from the stars. And if we understand in the stars having some kind of consciousness, of beings having some kind of consciousness, this brings me more to the ETs. And I don't want to specifically speak of the ETs. We need to pay attention to the 11:11. So, what are the possible scenarios when the 11:11 comes? All of what I'm going to talk now is really the old theories. There was all lots of speculation out there, but nonetheless, the 11:11, I hope you're going to take it seriously. Those are some of the major things that might happen on that particular date, as long as you're open to it. There is also in Hollywood movies called 11:11. This is gonna come out around Halloween. That is a horror movie. Can you believe it? How Hollywood is trying to turn the thing? But this is another argument that I don't really want to get into it. But please ignore that movie. Don't go to see it. And focusing on that on the 11/11 is actually a good thing. This happened again when they tried to do a movie on 2012 for the Mayan calendar. Now, if you speak to people who saw the movie, or generally not just the people who saw the movie, but even the people who heard about it because they became aware from the movie, kind of, well, it's all about doom, it's all about the end of the world, and so on. Now, I heard in the 80s about the Mayan calendar and the 2012 date, and never occurred to me that these had to do anything with doom. Besides, people were telling the stories, they were all excited. They were all excited. Their new conscious was going to come, and there is an entering into the golden age of Aquarius, and so on. And it's clever that really a machine like Hollywood has been able to take it on board and get people scared. Now, if you go to speaking to the Mayan, they might think with that kind of theory, they're gonna think you're mad. You know, they are sitting quiet into this transition. They know it's a major transition, but it's all good. The things that are gonna come out is good. So why bother to go scared? So, but let's go back to 11/11 alone. Let's hope these things doesn't happen for 11/11. They're gonna say the movie's gonna say is a gateway, is a portal opening, and that's exactly what is going to occur. Now, it's gonna remain open. Let's say this is an activation of the portal, and it's gonna stay open for at least a year. Some people say even longer. But for the people who are inclined to work with this, it's a good time to go into it. Yeah. So those are the things that are going to happen. They could happen. DNA activation. We know that we function on 2 strands of DNA, and this can be fully activated to more strands of DNA. Now, there is a lot of different use of what this might mean, and we'll be doing other videos on DNA. But I will just, this is, let's take it just in terms of the 11/11. I just want to say that it's possible that there's a new DNA activation, that all 12 strands of DNA are going to be suddenly, from a quantum event, activated in part of humanity, not all of the humanity, yeah? The people who are creating. Then, from more Eastern philosophy, there is a third eye opening. Now, in Eastern philosophy, we know that energy centers are actually called chakras, and there is energy running to those chakras. Now, not just us, we have chakras, the planet has chakras as well. And the third eye is actually on the Earth, is relating to South America. So let's say that in South America, this can mean that the third eye opens there, and when the third eye opens, then all of the cosmic memories are going to come back to that part of the world for sure, and so this is going to affect in terms also the people there. And as long as people who have been practicing some kind of attunement and are already doing some meditation, that can mean also for the people, not just in South America, but the people all around the world, there might be a chance that they're gonna get this cosmic memory. So that means all lives on this planet, the life of the spirit that they embody, they're gonna be reawakened. And so this brings it to the last. It also is, since this is a channel, so we have other multidimensional entities some people call them extraterrestrial, they're going to be in conscious communication through this portal. And there is also the intraterrestrial, that I haven't put it here. So basically, there is some myth that says that the Earth is not, yes, it is round for sure, but it's also hollow. So that means at the North Pole and the South Pole, there is an entrance inside the Earth, and inside the Earth you can find another sun that gives light. So life is actually possible inside the Earth. And there are elemental beings as well, other type of civilization, multidimensional civilization inside our planet. And on the 1111, there is an activation of in conscious communication between the intraterrestrial, with us, the people who are open to it, and the multidimensional beings outside into the cosmos. And there is this communication that is going to go on. These are the extraterrestrials that are benevolent to us. Yeah, they're helping us with the shift into a new consciousness. So how